Hello students, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe my channel, press the bell button, press the like button and share it. Today I am going to explaining the magnetic effect of electric current, third part. In that, first one cyclotron, second Ampere circuit law, third magnetic field due to straight solenoid, fourth magnetic field due to a toroidal solenoid. Cyclotron, you can see a one figure. So in that figure we can see the D1, D2 are the D's, N, S it is magnetic pole pieces, W window, B is the magnetic field. Working. Imagining D1 is positive and D2 is negative, the positively charged particle kept at the center and in the gap between the D's get accelerated towards D2. Due to perpendicular magnetic field, and according to the Fleming's left-hand rule, the charges gets deflected and describes semicircular path. When it is about to leave D2, D2 becomes positive and D1 becomes negative. Therefore, the particle is again accelerated into D1 where it continues to describe the semicircular path. The process continues till the charges traverse through the whole space in the D's and finally it comes out with a very high speed through the window.
Cyclotron. In 1931, E.O. Lawrence and M.S. Livingston designed a device called cyclotron to accelerate positive ions to extremely high velocities by repeatedly subjecting them to a very high voltage.
Large accelerator, cyclotron. So let's start. What is cyclotron? The cyclotron is a machine used to accelerate charged particles or ions to high energies. High velocity charged particles is used for bombarding a nucleus. It was invented by E.O. Lawrence and M.S. Livingston in 1934 to investigate nuclear structure. Working principles of cyclotron. Number 1. In electric field, a charged particle is accelerated. Number 2. A moving charge in a magnetic field turns and makes a circle. Introduction to parts of cyclotron. The cyclotron consists of two flat semicircular metal boxes called D's and are arranged with a small gap between them. A proton, or maybe the combination of proton and neutron, is located near the midpoint of the gap between the D's. The D's are connected to the terminals of high tension oscillator so that a high frequency alternating potential of several million cycles per second exists between the D's. The D's are enclosed in insulated metal box containing gas at low pressure. The whole apparatus is placed between the strong electromagnets such that south pole of one electromagnet is facing downward and north pole of another electromagnet is facing upward, which provides a magnetic field perpendicular to the plane of the D's, acting from north pole to south pole. Working of cyclotron. In the initial stage, a positive particle is at the center. The positive particle at the center is accelerated by a D which is at negative potential at that moment. The accelerated positive particle with gain in velocity enters inside a D. As we know, according to the Gauss theorem, influence of electric field inside a conductor is always zero. Therefore, now a positive particle inside a D is only in the influence of magnetic field and velocity which it gains before. With velocity perpendicular to the magnetic field. Therefore, according to the left-hand Fleming rule, force starts acting upon it and positive particle in the magnetic field starts turning in a circular path with zero acceleration. After turning in a circular path, again positive particle enters in a gap between the two Ds. As soon as positive particle enters in a gap, high tension oscillator provides a favorable electric field by changing the polarity of two Ds to accelerate the positive particle. Because now electric field is favorable to positive particle, it again accelerated by the electric field, which increases its velocity. Now it enters another section of D, where electric field is zero. Because of high velocity compared to previous circular turn, this time positive particle will turn in a semicircular path of larger radius. As the equation of the radius of a circular turn shows that the radius of a path of a positive particle is dependent on the velocity of a particle. If the velocity will increase, radius will also increase. Every time when the positive particle moves from one D to another D, it is acted upon by the electric field, and the positive particle is accelerated, which also increases velocity of a positive particle every time when the positive particle moves from one D to another D. The condition of working of cyclotron is that the frequency of high tension oscillator must be equal to the frequency of the revolution of a positive particle within the D. Then only, whenever the charge is in the gap, the electric field is along the velocity. You may ask a question: if radius is increased, then the time period of revolution should also increase. But it's not true, because the equation of time period of revolution of a positive particle in a cyclotron is independent of the radius of revolution of positive particle. In this way, positive particle starts moving in a spiral path with extremely high velocity till the positive particle reaches at the periphery of the Ds, where an auxiliary negative electrode deflects the accelerated particle on the target to be bombarded.
Theory: the magnetic force experienced by the charge provides centripetal force required to describe circular path. mv square by r equal to qvb sin 90 degree, where m mass of the charged particle q charge, v velocity on the path of radius r, b is magnetic field, and 90 degree is the angle between v and p. Therefore, v equal to bqr divided by m. If t is the time taken by the charge to describe semi-vertical path inside the d, then t equal to pi r by v, or t equal to pi m divided by bq. Time taken inside the d depends only on the magnetic field and m by q ratio, and not on the speed of the charge or the radius of the path. If t is the time period of the high frequency oscillator, then for resonance t equal to 2t, or capital T equal to 2 pi m whole divided by bq. If f is the frequency of the high frequency oscillator cyclotron frequency, then f equal to bq whole divided by 2 pi m. Maximum kinetic energy of the particle. Kinetic energy of the charged particle is kinetic energy equal to 1 by 2 mv square equal to 1 by 2 m bracket bqr whole divided by m whole square equal to 1 by 2 b square q square r square divided by m. Maximum kinetic energy of the charged particle is when small r equal to capital R, that is a radius of the Ds. Therefore, kinetic energy maximum equal to half b square q square r square whole divided by m. The expression for time period and cyclotron frequency only when m remains constant. Other quantities are already constant, but m varies with the v according to Einstein's relativistic principles as per. That is m equal to m naught whole divided by bracket 1 minus bracket v square by c square close the bracket close the square bracket to the power of 1 by 2. If frequency is varied in synchronization with the variation of mass of the charged particle by maintaining b as constant to have resonance, then the cyclotron is called synchrocyclotron. If magnetic field is varied in synchronization with the variation of mass of the charged particle by maintaining f as constant to have resonance, then the cyclotron is called isosynchronous cyclotron. Note: cyclotron cannot be used for accelerating neutral particle. Electrons cannot be accelerated because they gain speed very quickly due to their lighter mass and go out of phase with the alternating EMF and get lost within the Ds. Ampere's circuitous law. The line integration, closed integration of B vector dot dl vector for a closed curve is equal to mu naught times the net current I threading through the area bounded by the curve. That is, closed integration B vector dot dl vector equal to mu naught I. Proof: closed integration of B vector dot dl vector equal to closed integration of B dl cos 0 degree, that is equal to closed integration B vector dot dl vector equal to B vector equal integration of dl vector, that is equal to B 2 pi r equal to mu naught I whole divided by 2 pi r into pi r. So therefore closed integration B vector dot dl vector equal to mu naught I. Magnetic field at the center of a straight solenoid. Closed integration of B vector dot dl vector equal to mu naught I naught. Closed integration of B vector dot dl vector equal to closed integration of q B vector dot dl vector plus qr closed integration B vector dot dl vector plus rs closed integration of B vector dot dl vector plus sp closed integration of B vector dot dl vector. So that equal to closed integration of B dl cos 0 degree plus closed integration of B dl cos 90 plus closed integration of 0 dot dl cos 0 degree plus closed integration of B dot dl cos 90 degree. B closed integration of dl equal to B dot A and mu naught I naught equal to mu naught N A I. Therefore B equal to mu naught N I, where N is the number of turns per length, A is the length of the path and I is the current passing through the lead of the solenoid. Magnetic field due to toroidal solenoid, that is toroid. Closed integration of B vector dot dl vector equal to mu naught I naught. Closed integration of B vector dot dl vector equal to closed integration of B vector dot dl cos 0 degree, that is equal to B closed integration of dl vector equal to 2 pi r, that is closed integration dl equal to 2 pi r, that equal to B into 2 pi r, and mu naught I naught equal to mu naught N 2 pi r into I. Therefore B equal to mu naught N I. Note: the magnetic field exists only in the tubular area bound by the coil, and it does not exist in the area inside and outside the toroid. That is, P is 0 at O and Q non-zero at P according to the right hand thumbs rule.
A solenoid is like a stack of current loops. It creates a field much like that of a bar magnet. If the solenoid is bent around into a circle, the donut it forms is called a toroid. The magnetic field of the toroid is contained completely inside the windings. There are no field lines.